Well, so it's that time of the month again where I usually feel a little sad, a little depressed, a little unhappy because it's time for my favorite long term car to go back. And I'm talking about the Honda City. Now, I've kept this car for about a couple of months and I kept it earlier also for about a month and a half. So, really, in overall terms, I've kept it for about 3.5 months or about 4 months. I'm not being very precise, but it's been a little over 3.5 months that I've kept this car. And I have to say that every time this car comes, I really enjoy using it. I've got a lot of other cars in my fleet. I'll tell you about those other cars sometime soon. But there are at least 3 or 4 cars that we have in our fleet on a regular basis. But it's the Honda City which I always pick to drive because it's really enjoyable, and especially the one with the CVT automatic gearbox. It's really a fantastic package. The combination is really good between the gearbox and the engine. And it's not only this city, but even the 4th gen city, which we kept earlier, because essentially it's the same drivetrain. Even that car, I really enjoyed keeping it. I really enjoyed driving it. It's all about the iVTEC petrol engine. Yes, so the iVTEC petrol motor, the heart of the matter, really is something which really makes you feel very fond of this car. But if you've driven any other car in this segment, if you've driven the recently launched Slavia, if you've driven the VW Virtus, you'll of course have enjoyed driving them. But ultimately, when you drive this car, it just feels like you're coming back to an old friend because it's so nice and exciting to drive and so refined, so punchy, so sophisticated that it really feels very enjoyable to have a conversation with this car. And I've kept the Ciaz long term also in my fleet. You can check out the report by clicking on the link below. I've kept the 4th gen City as well. I've also kept the Hyundai Verna as a long-term car, so you can check out the report on all those cars in the description box below. You can also check out the review of the Slavia as well as a comparison with the City. But ultimately, it's always City, which is the benchmark which every other car has to test against. What have I enjoyed about this car? Well, as I said, the iVTEC engine is just a gem. It's a beauty. It's really a fantastic engine. Whether you're an enthusiast, whether you're an average driver, whether you're a family man, whether it's your first car, whether it's your 5th car, your 10th car, whether you have a Mercedes in your family, whether you have a Wagoner in your family, you will just enjoy the iVTEC engine over everything else. It's that good. It really is that good. I'm talking about these things from my heart. It's really a fantastic engine. The refinement, the rev happy nature, the initial responsiveness, and even the fuel efficiency. It's something that you'll truly appreciate because even in the city, the scorching heat, we've been getting figures of about 11.5 on a regular basis with the City Petrol CVT. The manual might give you the same figures, maybe a kilometer more, maybe a kilometer less, but really 11.5 from this engine and gearbox combination really means that it is quite a fuel efficient engine as well. And as I said, it's very enjoyable to drive. It's a very easygoing car to drive. The steering wheel is nice and precise, but it's light. It's not overtly heavy like some other cars. The suspension does its job very well. The suspension is very well balanced between agility as well as comfort. So that is also something which Honda has taken care of. And the build quality is good. The design is good. Just feels like a happy yet positive place to be in. What else do I like about the car? Well, apart from the fuel efficiency, which is very important, I also like some very thoughtful touches like the camera which is placed on the left side view mirror. It gives you a view of your blind spot over there, so that's something very helpful. It also tells you if there's any kind of concrete or some stones when you're reversing back, so you can always see that by just dipping your indicator and you can get a view of that, or you can of course press this button over here and get a view of that. So that's all something which is very thoughtfully done. And some thoughtful touches are like this, the AC controls. If you put up the temperature, they become red. If you put it down, they become blue. That's all something which is very nifty, very cool feature. And these are small details which really add up. What I also like is the seat comfort. The seat comfort is the best. The Ciaz, the seats on that car feel a little, soft, and they're a little small as well. They're not as large as this car's. The Skoda feels very hard. The VW Virtus also feels very hard. The Verna, again, they're not as sumptuous as these seats. So these are the best seats in the business, both the front and the back, for sheer comfort. My parents, my family, when they sat inside this car, they always enjoyed this car because the seat comfort is exceptional. The glass area is also big, and that's something which gives you a sense of roominess inside the cabin. That's also a lot to enjoy. And those are things which, small details which people really like about this car. There are of course a few things which you might say should have been improved. One of those of course is the rear parking camera's visibility. Not the visibility, but the high definition could have been better. then the touchscreen interface isn't the best. I don't really like it, to be honest, and it could have been improved, especially if you use a Hyundai car or a Kia car. Then you will appreciate those cars because it's easy to use. The fonts, the menus, everything is exceptional. This one needs to be improved definitely. But apart from these two things, I really don't think there's anything which needs improvement. The stereo is very good on this car. Seat comfort is good, as I said. Ride quality is excellent. Overall, the engine performance is very good, and really, it is a phenomenal package, to say the least. Overall, I'm very impressed with this car. What will I prefer? If I were in your place, would I go and buy the diesel, or would I buy the new HEV version, the hybrid version? Well, honestly, the city petrol, the VTEC has always been the benchmark ever since the city was launched 25 years ago. This really has been the benchmark, and performance and technology, everything is very well put together in this car. And the CVT gearbox also works very well. It's a step up kind of gearbox, so you get 7 speeds over here which you can use. It's a seamless gearbox, effortless, hassle free, and just a fantastic overall car to drive. So every time this car goes back, like it is going back today, I feel sad, I feel a little depressed, and then I find an excuse from Honda to call them up and ask for this car again. And they're very helpful. They always do send the car to me, but they do ask me, why are you getting it back? You've already driven it. And I have driven it quite a few occasions, separate occasions I have kept it, but they do ask, why you need it again, what do you want to do with it? But yes, I always find an excuse to get it back. It's really that enjoyable. So if you're in the market for a sedan, if you're in the market for any kind of car, in fact, if you want an SUV, I would suggest compact SUV. Ignore that compact SUV. If your budget is about 12 lakh rupees, buy the base version, the V. Even that is pretty well kitted out. The VX, even those versions are quite good. And if you're not in the range, if this car is above your range, then I would suggest still buy the 4th generation version. The engine and the gearbox are the same, so it's really fantastic to use. And even the 4th gen car is a beauty to drive, and you'll just enjoy your experience with the city. You just can't go wrong with this car. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is that with the Honda City, you simply can't go wrong. And I've enjoyed this car. I said there are a few things which could be improved, but honestly speaking, other than those couple of things, it's a fantastic package. Just go ahead and take a test drive at a Honda dealership near you. I'm definitely sure you'll agree with what I just said. So bye for now, and thanks so much for watching.